Hey guys, it's Dave. Welcome back to DJ Media. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about my thoughts about what Canon has been up to, at least in the camcorder market. So before we start this video, if you guys are interested in joining this channel's family and are new, please hit that subscribe button down below, because on this channel we do stuff like camera reviews, audio reviews, and also tips and tricks, and I guess now me talking about my feelings about Canon. So videos like this. So if you like this kind of stuff, please subscribe, and I hope to not let you down. So please go ahead and do that. Okay, so today I wanted to sort of talk about Canon and what they've been up to over the last few years. My main problem with Canon right now is that they seem to be sort of denying the fact that 4K for the consumer is a good thing. As of right now, they're the only camera manufacturer that has not basically created a consumer camera that is capable of shooting 4K. And even extending that into their professional line, I mean, if you go on Canon's website and look at their store where you can buy stuff directly from Canon, the only 4K option they have there is the XC10. And that's been there for probably a couple years now. And then all their other cameras, their XA series, their XF series, and those are all just HD cameras. And the highest end one is like $3,000 or $4,000. And I'm just wondering what Canon's up to, because they're really jacking up their price on their professional cameras while just refusing to give us 4K. And I don't understand why. I mean, on their lower end, their XA series, which is their sort of entry-level professional cameras, the XA20 was a extremely successful camera. I mean, people loved it because of its great image quality at HD, its XLR handle that was extremely nice, and just the price point. It was a good price for a consumer, or let's say entry-level professional camera. And the XA10 was just sort of a slightly downgraded version of it, which was still a good camera, and people used it. And when I was looking to upgrade my camera, I was very interested in something like the XA10 20 or 25, because I loved the image quality on my Vixia, which is the camera I used before this, the one I have right here, which is the JVC one that I've mentioned a million times. And well, Canon, on their website, the XA10, 20, and 25, at least as new items, have completely disappeared. Like, you cannot buy them basically anywhere new anymore. And it puzzles me. They're really trying to push the XA30 and 35, which are like $1,600, $2,000. And there's a very minimal difference between the two. I mean, the main difference is that the XA35 has the SDI output, but in terms of actual use scenario, that's the only difference between the two, and they jack up the price at like $300 or $400, which is ridiculous. And the fact that they want to charge $2,000 for an HD camera that can't shoot 4K, that doesn't make sense to me. And I'm recording this on a Saturday, and on Monday I'm planning on calling up a Canon service representative just to talk to them and see what their mentality is, why they're trying to basically take away consumer 4K while jacking the price on their more prosumer models. I mean, what's interesting to me is that the XA35 is pretty much the same price as their XF100, which is their basically lowest end of truly professional cameras. Which is surprising, and on the XA10 you get a lot more features. The XF100 you get a lot more features than the XA35. So it doesn't make sense. So basically what they're forcing people to do now is to shell out more money for the XA30 and 35 because they decided to take away those lower models, which were extremely popular. I mean, if the XA20 or 25 were still available new from Canon, I would have bought it. That's what I would have bought, because I liked what I had on the Vixia. I loved the image quality. The footage was so easy to work with, and it was just a really nice camera, and having that top handle would have been just exactly what I needed. But Canon has just sort of been sitting on ass for the last couple of years. They really haven't pushed out something new. I mean, and their EOS C series are so darn expensive that there's no way I can buy one of those. So that's why JVC won my money. I mean, I was looking at the Sony NX100, but also at $1,600 with a similar feature set to this camera. That's why I chose this one, because it was several hundred, like $300 or $400 cheaper, and it had 4K. Plus, I got it $100 off because it was open box. So it was basically brand new, just cheaper. So, I mean, I don't understand what Canon's been doing. I hope that a Canon PR rep sees this video, because I would love to talk to them and just try to understand where they're coming from. Because they're really trying to push their DSLRs, but in return, they're really kind of slacking on the camcorder side of things, which is something I much prefer using. I mean, yes, DSLRs are nice, and being able to use interchangeable lenses are great, but for the stuff I do, I don't need to be carrying around 8 different lenses. I mean, I can't afford any lenses anyway, so I need something with a built-in lens that can zoom and can do everything I need, and that's what a camcorder should be. Oh yeah, and you know that you can't even get the Vixia HF G30 anymore. That was like the intermediary between the G20 and the G40. And now I think the G20 is starting to disappear from Canon's website too. The shopping website of Canon. You can get some of these things like refurbished from them, but they're still stupidly expensive. I mean, refurbished, like I want to see a couple $100, like at least $300 less on a refurbished product, because it's not brand new. It's been used and then they fixed it up. You know, it shouldn't be. They're trying to make money, and I understand that, but at the same time, you know, the purpose of a refurbished thing is to get a decent discount. And when the discount's like $50, I mean, it makes no sense. It's basically negligible on a price that's like $1,300, $1,400. I mean, $50, who cares? So, I mean, I really don't understand what Canon's doing. So, you know, I was prepared to spend like $1,600 on a camera from Sony, but $1,200, yes. From JVC, yes. I mean, I know JVC isn't as common of a camera manufacturer that people get, but you know what? It's price to performance here, and this thing outperforms all the XAs, and even to some degree the XFs, because the XF, at least the 100, I think maybe the 200, and the 05 variants of those, the 105 and 205, they don't even have a built-in ND filters. I mean, come on. I mean, like, for a professional, you gotta have the ND filters. I'm using one right now. You gotta have them, and I just don't get it. So if there's someone at Canon who can try to sort this out, you know, hit me up. I'd be happy to talk with you, because I am thoroughly confused. And if you guys continue on the way that you're going here, I will never buy a camcorder from Canon ever again, because just for what I'm getting out of my money, Canon camcorders are not worth it. At least the higher end ones. Basically anything from $800 up. Maybe let's say $1,000, because the Vixia HF-E20 retails for about $800. I got it refurbished for $500, but basically $1,000 and up. So they're what the price of the XA10 would have been and up for all those cameras. I mean. And I'm not talking about the C100, C300. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about their camcorders. They're all-in-one camcorders, the XA, XF, and XC series. I just don't get what they're doing, and I would love to know. So my advice to you is, if you're looking for a new camera, don't go with a Canon, because you're not going to get as much for your money. Something from Sony, like even their not the RX100, their AX100, FDR AX100, which is a sort of a prosumer 4K camera, will outperform the image quality altogether. You know, it'll outperform a Canon easily. You're not going to get the top handle, but you know, if you go up to something like the NX100, you're getting HD, but you're still getting a lot of great features that videographers love. So my advice to you is, don't go with Canon for camcorders above $1,000, because it's not worth it. that's just my feeling right now, and I know this is sort of a rant, but you know, I'm just trying to help you guys out. I'm trying to help you make smart buying decisions, and I hope that at least some of this made sense to you, or maybe helped you decide on your next camcorder. Something like this JVC one right here, which I'll leave a link to in the description. It's a fantastic choice. I'm absolutely loving it. It's a great camera. I know it's got some people have given it some hate on YouTube, but you know what? It's a great camera for the money, and I would never return it because it is fantastic. It's exactly what I needed. So that's just me shedding my 2 cents on Canon right now. And just for the record, I do not have much experience with their DSLRs, and I will never make a video like this about their DSLRs because I don't have enough experience with them. But with camcorders, I have a great amount of experience, so I feel like I at least have the ability to talk about that side of things. So, you know, and I mean, it's not like if you're gonna buy a Canon, one of these higher end things, it's not like you're gonna get a piece of junk. I mean, you're gonna get a good product, but it's kind of like Apple. You're getting a good product for what you're buying, but it's not worth the money. Like, it's not, you're not getting good value for it. So, in some ways, Canon's camcorders are like the Apple of the camcorder industry. So, hope maybe that puts it into perspective for you. If not, you know, whatever. But that was an analogy I was trying to make. So I'm gonna basically wrap this up here because I don't want to keep going on it. Also, you might notice background is different because I'm back in college now, so we have a slightly different background, but I think it's nice. Sorry about the echo. My roommate hasn't moved in, and when he moves in with all the stuff, the echo will definitely go down. So apologize for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please hit that like button. It really helps out the channel and the video. Hitting that dislike button tends to bury the video on YouTube, which is not really a good thing because I want people to see this video because I feel like it actually has some merit to it. So please hit the like button if you enjoyed it, and especially if it helped you decide on a camera choice. If you guys want to see more videos like this and also camera reviews, audio reviews, stuff like that, tips and tricks, stuff like that, please hit that subscribe button and enable notifications. That way you guys know when I upload new videos. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you guys in the next video.